So the last thing that we're going to talk about in 4.1 is rationalizing the denominator. And so what that means is we don't want a radical sign in the fraction, okay, or in the denominator of the fraction. So when it talks about rationalizing a denominator, that's what it means. So you can't have a radical in the denominator of a fraction. And so the way we get rid of that is called rationalizing the denominator. And so what you do is you multiply the denominator and the numerator, so both of them, by whatever the denominator is. So notice that this says square root of 3n. So I'm going to multiply the top by 3n and the bottom by the square root of 3n. And so what happens up top is I get square root of 15n. And on the bottom, I get square root of, and I'm just going to write it as 3n times 3n. And the reason why is because that helps me simplify. So notice if there's really an imaginary 2 sitting there, I need 2 of the same thing in order to pull it out. So square root of 15 on top, the only factors of 15 are 3 and 5 and an n. And there's no pairs, so my top just stays the square root of 15n. But on the bottom, you have a pair of 3's, so it comes out, and you have a pair of n's, so it comes out. And so every time you multiply the denominator and the numerator by that, the denominator ends up being what it started out as, just with the radical gone. And so because there's 2 of them, you can pull 1 out. So the same thing's going to happen here. So we're going to go square root of 4x to the third over square root of 4x to the third. So on top, we get 6x to 6, and then square root of 4x to the third. And on the bottom, we get 4x to the third times 4x to the third. And again, notice that we're looking for pairs. So I've got the 4 breaks down to be 2 times 2, so we don't need that. And then there's 3 x's. And on the bottom, notice that we've already got it factored. So on the